Hey everybody, it's your girl Shannon, and this is Mind Your Business with Shannon, where we discuss everything business and how to live your best and balanced life. Well, as promised, we're going to kind of delve into a little bit more of nonprofits, okay? I have been getting so many requests from folks wanting to know more about nonprofits. How do I go about getting a nonprofit and the like? Well, this is your day, okay? The first thing, just like with any business, you need to come up with a name for your nonprofit. Now, the difference is not only do you have to come up with a name, but you also have to come up with a board of directors. You need a minimum of 3 people on your board. Include yourself. So many people ask, can I be on my board? You better be on your board if you want to have any kind of say-so in what goes on with everything, okay? So yes, you need to be on your board. Your board of directors is going to help govern what's going on with the nonprofit. It's going to help you make decisions, okay? Some of the officer positions that you are going to need to fill are president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. One person can hold a dual role. So let's just say you want to be the president and your treasurer, or your secretary could also be your treasurer, or however you want to delineate those responsibilities, okay? So once you have all of that in tow, then you have to file with your local state Secretary of State Articles of Incorporation. And the Articles of Incorporation is just proof that you have filed the necessary paperwork to become a nonprofit, okay? Now here's the tricky part. So many think that once you filed your paperwork with the Secretary of State, that means I'm now tax exempt. And no, you're not. You have to file 501c3, which is a section of the Internal Revenue Code. Once you've filed and have been approved as a 501c3 tax exempt organization, now you're tax exempt, okay? You have to get that 501c3. I tell people all the time when we're talking about regular companies to have those multiple streams of income coming through. The same holds true for a nonprofit. Well, what are those different streams of income that we're talking about? Grants, contributions and donations, and your fundraising. That 501c3 is such a wealth of power in your hand, but you have to know how to use it. It's a sheet of paper. And if you're not using it properly, or if you're not using it at all, then all it is a sheet of paper. Okay? It's the writing on the sheet of paper that makes the difference, and it's how you utilize it that makes the difference. Let me give you an example. There are different restaurants in and around town in every state that host different fundraising activities for 501c3 nonprofit organizations. You need to start making some inquiries as to what restaurants are going to host fundraisers for nonprofit organizations. Once you get that 501c3, you need to use that thing to the best of your ability. I mean, if you just want to do a fish supper as a fundraiser, that's fine. If you just want to stand at the red light with a bucket, that's fine too. If you want to stand outside of a department store, that's fine too. However, I don't want to do any suppers. I personally don't want to stand at a red light, and I definitely don't want to stand outside of a department store. So allow that 501c3 to help you do your fundraising smart. We always want to work smart and not hard. Okay, so keep that in mind. The 3 types of income that you should always have coming in your nonprofit would be grants, fundraisers, donations, and contributions. Now, once you become a 501c3, any types of contributions that you get, the person or entity that gave it to you, it becomes a tax write-off for them. All you have to do is write them a letter on your company letterhead, indicating the date that they gave the donation and how much it was, and thanking them so much for their kind contributions. That letter then becomes, their way of being able to deduct those funds at the end of the year. Okay? So it becomes a win-win for everybody. You get the money, and then they're able to write that off at the end of the year. Okay, a nonprofit organization does not mean that you don't make money. It doesn't mean that you don't make a profit. It's what you do with the profit, that's where the difference is. All right, I've got Shannon LLC, okay? And I've paid my employees, I've paid my rent, I've paid all of my expenses at the end of the month, right? What's left over is considered your profit margin. I mean, they got a couple other little things that goes into all of that, but just for, purposes of what I'm trying to explain right now, that is considered your profit margin. You have the ability to make a decision as to whether or not you're going to pour all of it back into your company, if you're going to pour a percentage of it back into your company, if you're going to keep all of it, do you have to do profit sharing and distributions? I mean, all sorts of things. So with an LLC, you have, that ability to determine what you're going to do with your profit margin. All right, let's flip it to a nonprofit. Nonprofits, you can still make a profit. You still have bills you have to pay as well. So at the end of the day, when all of your bills are paid, you've got your profit margin. But that money has to stay with the organization. It has to go back into the organization. You don't have a choice. Those monies are not to benefit you. Those monies are not to benefit anyone on your board. That money is to benefit the community in order for you to achieve your goal, your mission, your vision that the nonprofit was set up to do in the first place. Okay? So remember, nonprofit does not mean you're not making money. You're not making a profit. But that money has to stay with your organization. It is not to inure to your benefit. Okay? All right. All right, so we filed our articles. We are now going to work on our bylaws. And the bylaws is a document that just helps to govern your nonprofit organization. You have to have really good bylaws in place, okay? So if you're not familiar with how to write bylaws, you really need to get with someone who is. That your bylaws just kind of give step by step, 1, 2, 3 of what's going on in your organization and how it's being governed, okay? Now, once all of your documents are put together, now you're ready to submit your application to the IRS for further consideration. And you do that in 1 or 2 ways. You can either do an online submission to them, right? That filing fee is $275, or you mail it in to them and have the whole packet together, mailing it in, and that filing fee is $600. So, I'd rather pay the $275 versus paying the $600. So how do you know which way is the best way? Do I have to, pay the $275 or am I paying the $600? Well, here's a great rule of thumb in order for you to make that determination. The next 3 years, each year, will your organization make $50,000? Do you think that it will or won't it? If you're not going to be making $50,000, then you should be able to do the online submission and only pay the $275 filing fee. Now, are you a church? Is your church making at least $50,000 a year, yes or no? Well, guess what? It really doesn't matter. A church can't file online, so a church has to pay the $600 filing fee. Okay? It doesn't matter how much money they're making. Now, is your organization doing any kind of credit counseling, financial counseling, mortgage foreclosure assistance, personal finance, budgeting, or any other consumer credit areas? Then guess what? You have to do the loan form and your filing fee is $600. Okay? Now, I do want to back up a little bit and talk just a little bit more about churches. Is it necessary for a church to file 501c3? No, it isn't. But let me tell you why you should, okay? If a church is going to depend on grants as being one of its main streams of income, then having that 501c3 is going to be very advantageous for you to have. Unfortunately, the government and foundations are not going to give you money just because you're a church. There's been so much of wrong, doings going on with churches in the past that now there are so many different types of rules and regulations that are in place for your protection, for my protection. So, as a church, if you're going to depend solely upon the contributions from your membership, tithes and offerings, that's fine. But if you want to step into that grant arena, then you will need to have that 501c3 in place, okay? All right. Okay, guys, not trying to make this video long, but we need good nonprofit organizations around. We need those organizations that's going to advocate for those who have, just been fallen by the wayside. We need those good nonprofit organizations that's going to help with teen pregnancy, that's going to help with those families that are experiencing difficulties because of domestic violence issues. We need those nonprofit organizations that's going to be mentors for, our young boys that don't have that father figure in their lives. The nonprofits, if run properly and if run sincerely, can really do a lot for the community. Don't think that running a nonprofit organization is just so cumbersome, because it isn't. It's technically just like a regular organization. You've got to keep up with what's coming in, you've got to keep up with what's going out, and you have to make sure that those funds that you're saying are going to be allocated to your mission is actually being allocated for your mission. Okay? So please, if you have any questions about nonprofit organizations, I'm going to have my email address right down below in the description portion. So please ask any questions that you want to ask. If something wasn't made clear enough for you, I want to make sure that you have all of the information that you need, especially if you are serious about wanting to start a nonprofit organization. It's not hard. It's not hard. If it's ran with integrity, it's not hard. I promise you it's not hard. So, once again, I want to thank you guys just for all of your support. We are really kind of getting into our groove, and I want to thank you all for that. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell so that you can be notified every time we upload a new video. I want you to like, I want you to comment, and please share this video with anyone who you think may benefit from the information. Okay? Also, Don't forget to, in the comment section, if you need more information about nonprofits and you don't want to send an email, you can just leave the comment there. Or if you want to leave comment, letting us know what type of content that you'd like to see here. Please do so, because we are here to provide you with what you need, to provide you with, relevant content that's going to help take you from level 1 to level 10 in a short amount of time. You just need to have the knowledge to be able to do what it is that you're doing, all right? So again, this is Shannon. Till next time, guys, you stay sweet. Remember, mind your business, because if you don't, who will? I'll see y'all next time. Bye.